Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my
So you had a big red day, huh? Well, hold on, it's not the end of the world. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do with this red day. So you can either mope around the house and have a bad day and let it ruin the rest of your day, or you can learn from this experience. So obviously a lot of us have had red days. It's just part of the business. This is how it is. So in your development, it's really up to you and how you take it and how you're going to be able to move forward. So you have to harness this and just kind of make it your own. How are you going to learn from this experience? All right, with that being said, let's go back to the monitors. All right, guys, so now let's talk about this. So I wanted to cover this topic during one of the days where I actually had some losses to talk about. So instead of covering all of these, I'm just going to specifically talk about Oracle since it is the biggest loss of the day. Now, I want you to ask yourself these questions whenever you do have a losing day. Did you follow your rules? And when I say that, I know a lot of people, they're kind of, throw their hands up in the air and like, wait, what do you mean, what rules? I didn't know there were rules to this. So when I say rules is you're supposed to have your own set of rules that you're supposed to follow. So as time progresses, you'll notice things that you're not good at. So if you notice these things, maybe certain patterns, certain stocks, certain market caps that you're not good at, you basically just kind of jot these down and you have compiled your set of rules that you need to follow. And as long as you go within those guidelines and you follow your rules, you'll see yourself basically just increasing, getting better and better and better. Now, I'll go ahead and read you guys some of the rules that I have. There's actually another video that I made probably a few months ago. If you guys go back and look under my golden rules, you guys will find all of the rules that I have on there. So I'll run through those real quick. So no trading new patterns, no 5-cent tickers. I'm only allowed to trade with the trend, 1,000 shares max. I'm not allowed to add to a losing position. No trading stocks under 10 bucks. If I start out with 3 losing trades, I'm done for the day. My max daily loss is $300. Number 9 is no longs under the 9 EMA and VWAP. And then number 10 is no shorting over the 9 and VWAP because they provide support and resistance. And if you lose a trade, you're not supposed to take a trade within the next 5 minutes. So now with that being said, there's another thing that you should ask yourself. Did you follow your max loss? So if you don't know what your max loss is, you should take what you are comfortable losing in one trade, which is usually 1 to 2% of your total account. So for myself, it's only $100. So unless I double up and I take a $200 risk. So within 3 trades, if add all those up, and that should be your max loss for the day. Because if you take 3 trades and they're all wrong, you should be completely done for the day. You're just obviously not on it for the day, and you're not going to be in the right state of mind to be able to make the 4th trade and for it to be correct. The likelihoods of that actually happening are very slim. It has happened. You can come back some, but most of the times you'll probably end up digging yourself a bigger hole. So with that, I take 3 trades, $100 each, and $300 is my max loss, so I should stop there. Now today, that is actually one of the things that ended up happening. I was not able to follow that rule because I was actually in 2 trades at the time. I think I was down like 260 or 280 or so, and they basically just stacked up. So I ended up losing $482 on the day. So that's, yeah, I could have stopped right away when I was at 280, just gotten out of the positions, not taking on any more risks. So that's, I did kind of screw up there. Now, another thing that did happen to me today was mostly on PLCE is, were you being greedy? Now today on PLCE, my initial entry was good. And I was up like $240 on it, and I just didn't take it. So what ended up happening is I shorted 75 shares right at 127.45, which I believe right up here somewhere, stop over 129, and it tanked. It came all the way down to $1.20 or 124. So I was up more than $200, which is usually what I try to shoot for. I try to shoot for 2 to 1. So what I did wrong is what you should be asking yourself is like, what did I do wrong? I was being greedy. That's what happened during that time. Now, another thing that I often have to end up asking myself is, would I take that trade again? Now, was the pattern correct? Was I going with the market? Was I going with the trend? And the answer to that question to me is yes, because if this thing is gapping down from the 140 mark and it opens up at 126 or whatever it opened up at, and if I took it candle by candle, so this is something that I often do. So this is failing shorts. So this is one of the patterns that I do basically every single day right at market open. So I look for the stock to fail. So if I click on over to the next candle, okay, this is looking like it's starting to fail. Okay, it's a lower high. If I go under this, I think it's going to start failing. What does it do? It starts failing. So now, if I can scroll through and pinpoint exactly where I should have gone short, and I would do that day in and day out, then obviously I didn't do anything wrong during that time. So the pattern was correct, the trend was correct, the share size was correct. It just happens to be one of those times that I disobeyed another rule, aka I was being a little bit greedy, and I didn't take my profits when I should have. Okay, alright, now let's talk about Oracle. Now, Oracle was also gapping down. It's a big name stock, so there were a lot of buyers in it. Now, initially, let's do exactly the same thing that I just did with PLCE. Now, would I get back into that stock if given the chance tomorrow? If this thing popped up tomorrow, would you get right back in it? Okay, so let's talk about this. The trend is down. Let's see here. So the trend, oh, actually wrong one. So the trend is down. It's gapping down. It has bad earnings. Now, see if we can pinpoint where we would get back in. So next candle, okay, we're coming back. We're looking for failure, possibly here under the 47.20. Boom, fails. Okay, cool. Bounces at the whole number, makes a lower high. So like that, should fail. Under 47, I would probably add. So what actually ended up happening? If we actually look back on the tape, let's see here. So I shorted Oracle at 47.13, right down here as it was breaking down, 47.13, and then I added another 100 shares as it was breaking down below. Let's see here. What time was that? At 9:37. 47. 37. So I actually ended up adding another 100 shares. So I was still keeping my stop up here, made a lower high, so we were still fine and dandy. So something that I typically do a lot of the times is, especially it's a really good shorting pattern. So you form a high, you make a lower high, and then the spot in the middle basically is where you should short it. So technically, I should short it as it breaks the 47.03. Obviously, I would have waited for the whole number 47 to break, and then it should technically tank. So would I take this trade tomorrow? Absolutely. If you gave me this trade 5 days in a row, I would take this trade 5 days in a row. Even, if most of the times it doesn't end up working out, but statistically, it should end up working out because I have data backing it saying that most of the time, 7 out of 10 times that I take this trade, I'm going to win this thing. So I didn't technically do anything wrong. So especially with the other trades, DOV was a flat top breakout. ORCL was a lower high. PCG, I think it was a news play, and it was actually starting to curl back down, so I would have taken that. And then PLCE was a failed short. I was just being greedy. So every single one of those trades, to me, I would take over and over again. It's just happened to be today that it's just not my lucky day. So those are things that are completely out of my realm, really, to be able to. I don't really have any say in what the stock is going to do. But if the pattern presents itself, the trend is correct, and I didn't really do anything wrong, there's no reason for you to be so hard on yourself. Because, like I said, 7 out of 10 times that you take these sort of trades and you have the data backing it, you should come out on top. So don't be so hard on yourself when you do have a red day. Just make sure that you're able to jot all these things down and make sure you know what you did right, so you can basically make that list longer of rules that you need. So you don't want to have like a billion rules that you don't remember all of them, but you want to have a solid like 10 to 15 rules, maybe even 20 if you really have that many, that you can narrow everything down to. So then after you're done with those rules and you have basically perfected them, if you follow those rules to the T, you should be able to be profitable, because that is, if you follow those rules, you're telling yourself, this is the best way that I trade, and if I follow this, I should make money, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, that'll conclude today's lesson. If you guys do have any questions, make sure to put it down in the comments section below. I really hope this helps you guys out, because I know a lot of people kind of, they have hard time. They basically have a hard time coping with red days, and it's just part of the business. It's just what happens. So you have to have a little bit of a tough skin to be in this sort of business, but you have to realize that if you didn't do anything wrong and you would take that trade again, there's really nothing else you can do about it. Just kind of move on, make sure that you follow your max loss for the day, and then just live to fight another day. Just don't have a spiraling snowball of a bad day, which has happened to me plenty of times. I learn from each one of those experiences. I kind of jot down what I did wrong and just add it to the list. Now next time I won't make that mistake. So, like I always tell you guys, make sure to join our Facebook group. The link to that will be in the description below. If you guys have any questions, make sure to write it down below. Also, if you guys are new to the group, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every time I come out with a new video, you'll get notified of it. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.